What's up? It's Random Noob. A lot of people feel stuck mechanically when grinding, and it's usually because they're not training the correct skills. The information out there isn't great. Inexperienced players hand out Kovacs playlists like candy when they don't even play Val. I'm going to talk about what actually matters when improving your mechanics. And so you know, I'm not just talking out of thin air. I've hit Radiant every episode. Been a professional in esports for 8 years and coached thousands of players on how to improve. This is intended to be the only guide you need. But to do that, you need a real routine. You need habits. Your mechanics in game are all instinct. You're not thinking about crosshair placement, your movement keys, or mouse control. You're thinking about positioning and team play when you're in a match. Our goal should be to improve these habits and instincts so we can play on autopilot and trust our hands and eyes will move in sync, so when you're in the moment, everything just clicks. Let's clear up some myths, right? Start off with some common misconceptions, things that people misunderstand when going into their matches and going into their training sessions. First one, grinding aim trainers non-stop won't carry you without real in-game reps. You need to be playing in the game more so than aim trainers. Mouse control is a very small part of aiming. Don't overtrain it. You don't really need perfect crosshair control 24/7. You don't need to focus so hard and hold your mouse so tight to hit shots. It should be more calm, more controlled, right? Your sense doesn't need to be perfect, just a little comfy. It just has to feel good to you. People play on insanely high senses, people play on insanely low senses, and they succeed. It's not all about sense, it's what feels good to you. Movement absolutely does matter. I'm just not a talented mechanics player. I don't have the reaction time. It's overrated and limiting. Everyone can build a mechanical ability. There's one way I should practice to take a fight. There's really no single right way to take a fight. There are countless options depending on the situation. Spamming deathmatches isn't a warm-up plan. It's much more important to focus on quality over time spent. And here's the truth. Being a good mechanical player is about more than just aim. There's flicking, tracking, movement, spray control, positioning, prediction, map awareness, and so on. I can keep going, right? But you need to train all of it. And that means isolating and targeting specific skills. So this is what I do. I break mechanics into 3 key parts. Number 1, raw mouse control. That's your actual aim, like how your mouse moves in your hand. People focus on this 99%. I would put that down to like 20% of your mechanical ability. The second one is movement. Your movement is tied to your actual aim, how you move. A lot of guides you guys have seen probably were talking about use your movement to help dial in your aim. That's a very big part of it. As big as your mouse control. Hey, if you have bad movement, your shots aren't even going to be accurate. I would say movement is maybe like 25%. And the last and most biggest one, you hear it all the time. It's kind of like a buzzword, confidence. Confidence is built by routine. When you've drilled something enough, you trust it in game. And that's the point. You want to develop strong habits through focused practice. And that's what builds your confidence. Again, forget the idea that there's one right way to take fights. Pros switch it up. They crouch constantly. I see tons of questions about crouching. They strafe, they burst, they spray. It all depends on the scenario. And they've trained their instincts to naturally take the fights the correct way more consistently. The key to this is learning different styles so you have options. Close range, maybe you spray. Long range, go for one taps. Build habits that match your fight distance, your timing, and the weapon you're using. Right? You're not going to take your fights with a Spectre the same way you take it with a Vandal, and vice versa. And so here's the problem with spamming deathmatch. Just grinding DMs doesn't help much if you're not intentional. Why? You'll end up taking every fight the same strafe, the same timing, the same mistakes as everyone, right? Ever notice in a DM, you and your opponent, you start mirroring each other's left to right movement? You know, it only happens when everyone misses a shot, but in this case, you're taking the exact same style fight everyone is. And that's exactly what a strong routine prevents. So let's avoid that trap. Here's a warm-up plan that actually works. A good warm-up takes about like 20 minutes. That's it. A warm-up is not the same as long-term aim training. Although when you're warming up, you can aim train a little bit. So let's define them. Aim training is for growth, right? You want to build control. You want to take your time when you're aim training. You want to be really particular about how you move your hand in your crosshair. Warm-up is about prep. It's getting your body and brain synced to perform today, to get the best out of my gameplay next game. So here's my structure. I do about 10 minutes in Kovacs, a couple range drills, usually about 2-3 minutes, and then I do 2 to 3 death matches. Aim trainers can be supplemented with in-range drills, but I don't really do that much time. It's up to you as a player to decide what works best for me. I prefer a little bit of Kovacs, but that's about it. Then I hop into the range and I do some movement drills, some multi-kill scenarios, some gun control. As you can see, some example of the range drills in the video. But my weekly schedule works something like this. You know, warm up before every session, once or twice a week, do a double warm up. That's where I do my aim training, where you focus on specific weaknesses from that week's games. For example, if I'm rushing all my gunfights, you know, in my aim training sessions, I'll be playing very calculated, very slow, focus on my first shot accuracy. So I'm slowing down my gunfights, being a lot more calm and controlled. The deathmatch progression on a typical day might look like something like this. First DM, look for patient fights, crosshair flow, being in the moment, just kind of warming up and not focusing too hard on hitting every shot. I want to stay calm, right? Stay controlled. In that second DM, I'm going to practice something different every day. That could be a spray control. That could be different guns. It could be peak timing. It could be a first shot accuracy, like I was saying. It could be just angle clearing. It could be anything, but I'm doing something different every day to hone in those isolated skills. My third deathmatch, I focus on a strength and try to win. This mimics match pressure. This structure works because it moves from intention to skill to pressure. Think about great basketball players like Kobe or MJ. They visualize the game and practice the exact skills they needed. By recreating in-game scenarios during training, they perform when it mattered. The routine I provide below the video is an outline, not a script. Variety matters. Don't do the same thing every day. It homogenizes your gameplay, locks in bad habits, and makes it monotonous. Change it up. Maybe you change the order of your Kovacs playlist. Maybe you change those death matches you practice. Maybe you change what skills you're focusing on that day. Ask yourself, what haven't I worked on recently? Those uncomfortable skills are your direct path to improvement. And it's damn fun when one of those finally clicks mid-match. Mindset and intentional habits. Here's the one most people skip or look over. Again, mechanics include confidence as well as aim and movement. Confidence isn't some magic switch you flip. It's built by intentional reps every day you play. Stop focusing on how bad your aim is or how you can't compare to some higher ranked player. That energy is wasted. What if you shift that focus into better reps? Intentional practice, fighting for every game or deathmatch you play, learning in every scenario you're in, showing up consistently to try to get better, to try to improve. You don't get to be a jacked bodybuilder by going to the gym for 2 weeks. Right? It's the same with your mechanics. It's daily, intentional practice and work that adds up over time. Shift your mindset from I need to grind aim trainers 24/7 to I need to practice intentionally every day. So that's your full mechanic system. Honestly, no fluff. Be intentional, enjoy the process, find ways to keep it fresh, train different parts of your game, focus on the specific parts of your gameplay that you can actually improve. The more you vary your practice, the more your brain adapts. It's gonna help you pull off things you never expected mid-match. Bring that practice from your training to your actual matches. That's how you unlock your potential. Thanks for watching, everyone. Catch you all in the next video. Peace.